Hey Vex Nation! Welcome to the 2026 Vex Robotics World Championship Drivers Meeting. My name is Tyler McCrary, and I'll be your Vex World's Master of Ceremonies. Today, I'm joined by Bailey Call from the Vex Robotics Game Design Committee.
Hey everyone, Tyler and I are so excited to see you all in St. Louis in just a few days. Today, we're going to help ensure you are prepared to get the most out of your Vex Robotics World Championship experience. We'll start with some general knowledge you will want to know, like how to check in your team, the robot inspection process, the Robot Skills Challenge, and the agenda. We'll wrap up by answering some of the questions you have submitted. The first thing I want to make sure you all know about is the Vex Robotics World Championship website at vexworlds.com. It includes everything you need to know to navigate the event, including the agenda, division assignments, and match schedules. Teams should also install the Vex Via app so they can check match results and rankings as they're happening, and the Vex Hub app so they always have the game manual in their pocket.
While you're at vexworlds.com, check out the schedule for all of the ceremonies that are happening in the Dome. Opening ceremonies are where we kick off the competition, and they're always so much fun. There'll be lights, music, special guest speakers, and as always, the incredible Parade of Nations. During closing ceremonies, we'll play the overall finals, present the top awards, and announce the winners of the costume and pit design contests. And of course, unveil next season's game.
The ceremonies are one of the highlights of the entire week, Tyler. We really enjoy seeing all of the various cultures represented during the Parade of Nations.
Absolutely.
Like previous seasons, each team pit will be 8 foot by 8 foot, and due to fire marshal code, floating balloons, smoke machines, bubble machines, and fog machines are not allowed. Nothing can extend outside of your pit area, and for safety reasons, the pipe and drape cannot be removed. Vex IQ teams are not allowed to bring fields or parts of fields into the America Center, even homemade or unofficial versions. So save yourself some time and stress and leave those at home or at your hotel. And as always, the pit signs are yours to keep after the event as a commemorative souvenir from your trip.
The first steps of Team Check-In will happen online again this year. You can begin the process by going to robotevents.com. There, you'll find a check-in button on the primary coach's dashboard.
Tyler, what should teams know about the day of the overall finals and the closing ceremony, other than they won't want to miss it? It's a tight schedule.
No doubt, every second counts. Teams should remember to pack and remove all items from their pit areas before going to the closing ceremonies. If you can't take all items back to your hotel or vehicle, there will be some space near the Dome, accessible from Dome Entry A for large equipment storage during the finals. And don't worry, security will be watching the area so all of your belongings are in good hands. Next, and this is a big one, getting the pits emptied before heading to the Dome is crucial, because as soon as one event ends, our staff prepares the pits for the next round of teams, and you won't be allowed back in. Opening and closing ceremonies also won't be streamed in the divisions this year, so make sure you're prepared to make it to the Dome when division finals end.
On a related note, every attendee will be required to wear a bright green Vex Worlds wristband at all times to access the pits, divisions, skills, and the Dome. Team wristbands will be included in the registration packet you'll get at in-person check-in, and spectators can get theirs at spectator check-in. Each team will also receive one free parking pass to the parking lot N located behind the Dome.
Very cool. Next, let's talk about volunteering. Event volunteers are the motors that run Vex Robotics competitions, and we literally could not make this event happen without you. Please consider signing up to volunteer while you're at the Vex Robotics World Championship. Volunteering gets you up close and personal with all the action in your division, and there's a ton of roles available. Many of them don't require experience, and you can sign up for as little as half a day. Check out the volunteer section at vexworlds.com or email volunteer@recf.org with any questions.
Tyler, every year we have a few students who have been separated from their team or coaches and don't really know what to do. Where should people go if they're at Vex Worlds and they're looking for someone who's lost, doesn't know where to go, can't figure out what to do, or has questions about where to find something? Where can they go for help?
Well, of course, we have special venue maps all over the convention center, but if you need it, help can always be found at Pit Admin, located in Exhibit Hall 3 along the wall near the main exhibit hall entrance. It's your best place to start for any answers, and it's also the central location for all lost and found items.
A few last housekeeping items. In the interest of the student-centered policy, there are no adults allowed in the following areas: on the skills fields, inside of the practice field areas, and in queue at divisions for both inspection and matches. That pretty much covers the important stuff about the agenda and the event layout. Now let's get to what I call the good stuff: the competition and the rules. All teams should keep in mind two of the most important rules in any robotics competition, G1 and G2. Treat everyone with respect and remember that this is a student-centered program. Students should be the ones doing the work, and even in the most competitive moments, everyone must be respectful to one another.
Now let's get into some frequently asked questions. Bailey, if a Drive team member has a question about a ruling from a head referee, what should they do?
Per Rule T3, Drive team members may appeal a ruling while still at the field, but teams must remember that once the head referee has made their final decision, T1 says that ruling is final. Also, discussions are limited to the Drive team members for that match, and they shouldn't discuss the match with people outside of the match until they've left the field.
Can a coach, adult, or mentor approach the head referee to dispute a ruling?
Nope. Only the Drive team members for that match have that right. Above all, this is a student-centered program, and students must be advocating for themselves. Students, please be sure to discuss any G1 or G2 issues with a head referee or division manager in your division before you leave after a match. The game manual makes it clear that students should be the ones advocating for themselves, and issues should be brought up in divisions by those students, not the adults. Also remember that it is the students who should create their team's match strategies. If adults are influencing these decisions, let your head referee or division manager know. Adults, whatever strategy the students come up with and agree on is what they should use in a match, even if you can personally come up with something better. We want this competition to be fully student-centered.
Absolutely. Where should teams go for robot inspection? And is there anything they need to do beforehand?
Well, Tyler, we're going to do the self-inspection process again this year. We encourage all teams to search for inspection process at vexworlds.com, download the inspection sheet for their program, complete it ahead of time, and bring it with you to inspection. If you don't have access to a printer or forget to bring your inspection sheet, we will have more inspection sheets available for pickup right at your divisions. Inspection sheets must be completed and signed by both a coach and a team member before students and the robot get in line at their division. Head referees and inspectors will check selected items before approving your robot to get on practice fields and compete in matches. Inspection will close at 11 a.m. on the first day of your event, so be sure to finish the in-person check-in the day before to ensure you have enough time for inspection before matches start.
Throughout the event, teams should be prepared for unplanned interviews and robot inspections. Teams are encouraged to have their engineering notebooks on site to use during these interviews and inspections, because they may be asked to explain their design decisions and confirm understanding and ownership of their work. These interviews and inspections may occur in pits, near fields, or in a neutral location.
Once teams have passed inspection, they may use the practice fields. As always, practice fields are only open to student team members. We'll have 80 practice fields on the main floor specifically for elementary teams and 80 fields upstairs for middle school teams. Teams must use the practice fields assigned to their grade level.
Can teams do anything to make the inspection process faster?
Absolutely. Teams should make sure all of their robot components are legal for the competition. VexIQ robots can only be built from official, unmodified VexIQ robot parts. Robots will not be able to pass inspection if they use grease, tape, custom parts, modified parts, or any other disallowed parts.
Is there anything teams should know about skills?
Actually, there is. Students must have a robot to enter the skills queuing area, and doors will close at the posted time each day, about 15 to 30 minutes before the scheduled end of skills. If you don't have a robot, you cannot enter the line, and adults cannot wait in line for the students. To participate in skills, students must be in line with their robot and inside the doors before the doors close, no exceptions. This year, only student team members are allowed in the skills area in order to maximize space for both the teams and the fields.
What else should they know for this year?
Teams will need to remember that they must come to the field ready to play. Make sure your robots are in good working condition before coming to the field. Also, all robot transportation systems, including carts, wagons, and dollies, must stay outside of the queuing area and are not allowed in the divisions.
How can teams make sure that the scores entered for their match are accurate?
After the match has been scored, the scorekeeper referees will show all teams the match results. Once teams agree and the results are confirmed, the match is final. There is no need to ever question whether a score was entered correctly because it's all done at the field with all of the team members actively participating in the process.
How will the IQ competition be structured this year?
Each team will have one practice match and one qualification match on the first day of competition. There will be 5 elementary school divisions and 5 middle school divisions. Elementary school teams will compete with other elementary school teams, and middle school teams will compete with other middle school teams. The match schedule is subject to change, so teams should check their list of scheduled matches periodically throughout the competition. Each division will have 10 standard finals matches, just like a normal event. Then the champions from each division will make their way to the Dome to play in the overall World Championship Finals for their age group. These finals will be another set of one match per alliance to show us what they can do. Division champions will be ranked for the overall finals based on the score that they won their division with. If there are any ties, then the first tiebreaker will be the sum of the two teams' qualification match scores. We'll end up with elementary school world champions and middle school world champions. If any of this is unclear, all of the information is included in the April 2nd game manual update.
Now we've got some questions that teams have submitted about how mix and match will be played at Worlds. You ready for these?
Let's do it.
All right. First up, will there be a penalty if teams contact the field monitor that's attached to the field perimeter?
Most likely not. However, if a team damages the monitor or is contacting it often or recklessly, the referee may issue a violation or a warning. Please be careful around the monitors.
Can competitors use smart glasses or other similar POV cameras with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and any other communications turned off?
Competitors and volunteers cannot use these devices at the field to record matches, referee interactions, or other interactions with event participants, and may be asked to remove them during matches and conversations after the fact.
Will IQ teams be penalized for match loads that move away from the load zone bar after they're released by the loader?
Yep. Loaders have to be sure the pin or beam stays in contact with the load zone after they release it. The best ways are either to set the pin on the load beam or place the pin very slowly. This applies for both teamwork and skills.
Anything else teams should be aware of?
Well, teams will want to make sure they read this April 2nd game manual update in full. There's going to be some critical information in this update that will help inform teams about how certain rules will be enforced at the VEX Robotics World Championship this year.
Very nice. That does it for our questions. Bailey, is there anything else you have for the good people of VEX Nation?
Actually, there is. Every match you play at the VEX Robotics World Championship is an opportunity to help your alliance partner have their best match ever, even if it's not the greatest match for you personally. Stay nice, have fun, do your best, and know that your presence at the VEX Robotics World Championship is an accomplishment to be proud of. I cannot wait to see what you achieve while you're here.
Absolutely. This is going to be a competition like none other, and we're so excited to see all of you and your teams giving it everything you've got at the final competition of the season. Thanks for watching, and be sure to say, hey, when you see us at the 2026 VEX Robotics World Championship. See you soon.